So last time we talked about customer scorecard. The thing is, who are your best customers? And your best customers are those who are trying to copy you. And the reason why is they're doing homemade stuff. And so they know exactly what you're about. They know what they need. And so therefore a lot of the work's already done for you. And of course, this is where everybody talks about pain. And it's because when people are in pain, they're looking for a solution. And so it's still about hierarchy of effects, essentially the probability times the price. The thing about your product is you also have to look at how many stakeholders are there in the market that you're dealing with. Are you just going customer to someone else, or are there other people involved? Like in the medical business, you have to worry about regulators and insurers and everybody else. If you're eBay, then you have a two-sided market. You have to think about buyers and sellers. And so when they say find early evangelists in terms of when you go out and sell, this is basically what Senor Chavez calls the cult. The customer user lead tester, that's it. They decided to make an acronym of it. But what it comes down to is you want to find those early influencers. You want to find those people who can go out for sell for you. And once again, you have to find a way to diffuse. Why? Because if you have to go out and sell to each and every individual customer, you'll never make it. Unless you're selling items at like 10 million bucks a piece. The thing is, selling is extremely time consuming. Startups underestimate the cost of it. Customers put unreasonable amounts of demands on your time because, they want to be your one and only. Beware of overpromising and under-delivering. And in the early going, the CEO is a chief salesman, and you need the right personality and temperament for this. The thing is, do I need to be the key salesman? If you're not, you have to have somebody on your team to do that. For example, I don't have the temperament to be a good salesman. I basically don't like people enough. But what I was always good at, and this is what you need to be if you're not good at sales, be a good wingman. And that's that people get tired of salespeople. Oh my God, it's a salesman. Or, oh my God, it's a marketing person. They're just going to feed me BS. And so they want to talk to somebody who's real. And so here's the eminent Dr. Cho to come talk to you. In terms of optimizing these kind of channels, you have to look at what kind of traffic you're going to have, how many people are going to be active, and what marketplaces are you shooting for. And this is all about data analysis. And here's an example of different analytics. A lot of these are already offered in software packages. Dr. Cho, to tell you how old he was, he used to actually have to do his own code and things to do this. So he would, but anyway, the things like link prediction, and what you're trying to do is find analogous people that maybe you have your cult. Well, now I want to go find the next cult. Again, markets are about people who share the same values and who communicate. So I have to apply the application to the situation. Multivariate testing, a lot of you are probably familiar with A/B testing, and multivariate is looking at more variables than just two. And so some other methods that are available to you are like regression, conjoint analysis to find clusters of customers, cross-tab, ANOVA, and so on and so forth. And so cluster analysis is actually a very big thing, and that's that you can get your survey data or customer data and start plotting on different axes. And you start to see patterns, customers that can clump together, and you give them names. Here's an example of a very complex one showing clustering. In terms of your social media, what metrics do you have? And that's that. Mentions, clicks, and users. Is that really all you want to know? And this is a problem with a lot of people who do digital marketing. All they do is they want to look at clicks or things like that, but you need to look at attributes, what's driving it, what's happening. So you're more interested in what they're saying about you. Are they engaged with you? And so you want information that gives you insight, not just counting statistics. And this is where CRM and dashboards are so important to you, so you can keep track of the data, how it works in real time. The thing is, 90% of the people who try don't come back. And so where do I need to work harder? Here's some example of digital media. Telephone still has the best response rate. And that's once they get you on the phone. We're personable people. We don't like to hang up right away. Well, I do, but in terms of cost per acquisition, email is the cheapest. And this is why people use email marketing. The thing is, email marketing has its own challenges. I'm going to post all my lectures from my digital marketing class for those of you who are interested. Lecture 5, I believe, goes into a lot of detail about email marketing. What are the things that you have to worry about? What are the restrictions on privacy laws and things like that? In terms of return on investment, email is still the most effective. And cost per impression. Impression is essentially that you click on something from somewhere and then you actually see a landing page or something like that. And so $6 cost per impression is actually fairly common. The response rate might only be 1 out of 1,000, and then you calculate your acquisition cost. So what's your conversion rate? And I'll let you go through the math yourself. But the point is that you look at every step and you think, where should I focus my effort? And so I'm looking for repeat customers. Do I have buzz? Are there any viral effects taking place? Because that's what I want to help foster. And after people try things, how do they accept it? And so the feedback is, I want to go beyond first sales. I want to know, can I retain these customers? Are they going to buy more stuff? How do I create loyalty? I want them to refer to people, refer others. Again, I need that diffusion. And so I need to adjust to make it work. So in terms of diffusion, getting those cult leaders, those influencers, those evangelists, that's going to help you cross the chasm. Do you rely on word of mouth or digital media? Are there other techniques you should be looking at? Because you're going to need some type of network effect. And so now you're talking about, what are the length between nodes and things like that? Are there bridges that I have to go through to get to big customer bases? And this is what I'm asking you to do in your assignment for this week. And how does my next set of customers differ from my first? And so in terms of some of the topics we've touched on, validation is about coming up with your strategy and plan. Communication depends on whether or not you have a physical or web product. You have to track your metrics and hold on to your customers. And so whether or not your B2B or B2C plays a role, see how you're going to be received. And when you start raising money, they're going to want to know what your marketing expenses are. And so every product is unique. There's no hard and fast rules. But the point is, if you see patterns and things that people have done that works, then that gives you some indication of what decisions that you should go ahead and make.